Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. Chadley got me up at the crack of fuck, and we're ready to roll. What do we got on
Did,
the agenda for today, Chadley?
did you not come up with a Chadley quote of the day? Is there no Chadley quote
What's
of the
the
day, or
quote of
is
the day? It's you
oh, it's
when you
just
wake me up at the crack of fuck, Chadley.
you was pissed that we're up so goddamn early? Yeah, it's really early in the morning, and we've decided to do a podcast for fuzzies. For funsies, really early. I'm exhausted. Buck's exhausted, so this is gonna be a fun episode. This is gonna be a fun
See, the
episode. Everybody
problem is I
buckle it.
stay up till like 2 in the morning, and then Chadley's like,
Yeah,
well, "Let's get up at 8 to do a fucking podcast." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
yeah. I went to go to bed at 11, but I was like, man, I'll just throw on The Force Awakens while I go to sleep, and then I accidentally watched the whole fucking thing.
That'll happen. So
Yeah,
it's been a
so I'm
while
pretty
since
fucking tired.
we've done a podcast. I'm fresh off a film festival, so my body's still recovering. Because
Oh, yeah, we'll have to
like,
talk about that as well.
here's the thing about film festivals. I love them, but like 4 movies a day for 2 weeks, don't do that.
It starts to numb your body. You barely even remember. You're like, wait, which movie is this? What am I even watching
Well,
here?
that's true. By about the 10th or 11th day, they all started just to run together. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing even?
Did you see anything as amazing as you saw last year when you saw the movie Roar?
Roar and Ex Machina were pretty good highlights. This year, there was some damn good shit, Chadley. I gotta say.
Is it shit that's coming up?
Yep. There's this
All
one
right.
with Shia LaBeouf, Chadley,
Oh goddamn, I'm already in.
and it's one of the greatest movies ever. So I'm excited. It's called American Honey, and it's basically
American
just
Honey.
Shia LaBeouf selling magazines across the country and banging chicks.
Oh, dude, I'm down.
It's good. And
I'm
then I
so
saw
in
the
for
new,
that.
our boy Park Chan Wook of Old Boy fame.
Oh, yep. Oh, I love him.
His
Love the
his
man.
his new movie, The Handmaiden, really fucked up, really good.
Oh, sweet. Is it super Korean?
Yeah, it's real Korean, dude. It's real Old Boy.
I love super Korean.
And then there's a couple others. I saw this really good zombie movie called The Girl with All the Gifts. I highly recommend that when it comes out.
I didn't
And
know they still made good zombie movies. I thought that was sort of done.
the British do. The British are still making
Oh,
them.
thank God. God bless them. First they gave us 28 Days Later, now
Then,
this one.
well, I already pegged what's going to win the Oscar too. That's Manchester by the Sea, starring Casey Affleck. He's fucking incredible in it, and he's going to get an Oscar for it. So because nothing else good has come out this year. So
Dude, Casey Affleck is going to win an Oscar?
that's
Oh,
right.
God
That is
damn it,
correct.
dude. Everybody buckle up. That's the first sign of the apocalypse.
Oh, and then I saw
I'm
that.
pretty.
I saw, that guy that did Clouds of Sia Marie with Kristen
Yeah,
Stewart there.
Kristen Stewart, yeah.
He made another one with Kristen Stewart called Personal Shopper, where she's a personal shopper, but she also texts ghosts. It's really fucking bad. It was like the worst movie I've ever seen. And like at the end of the film festival movies, like everybody claps, right, to show appreciation. After Personal Shopper, fucking dead silence. Just like people standing up and walking out. It was amazing.
Yo, somebody's fucking parking in my parking spot right now. I'm watching them do it.
Oh yeah?
And there's nothing I can do. I'm potting. There's nothing I can do.
Pick the laptop
Motherfucker's
up.
parking in my parking spot right now.
Well, your car's not in there?
No, my car.
It's
I parked
blocking
my car.
your
I parked my car in the street because my girlfriend was parked in the parking spot, and then she went to work, and now this motherfucker just thinks he can just park wherever. That's a paid spot. You can get a $250 fine for it. I'm calling the cops.
Call the cops and then block them in.
He's not even parked in it. Like he half parked in it. He's jutting out. Why are you doing this? Get out of my spot. Okay, so I have a story to tell because you did that, but while you were doing that, something interesting happened to me. So I've mentioned before that recently I moved into kind of a shady area,
Mhm.
and this week I met the laziest mugger in history.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got mugged too recently. We can talk about that.
So I was listening to my podcast. I also realized that this is probably how I'm going to end up dying in my life. So I'll talk about that a little bit further on too. So I was just listening to a podcast. I was just walking to work, and this guy stops me, and he's like, he does this, right? He does this. Like he's like gesturing for me to take out my headphones, which happens to me all the time. And it's mostly like guys get me to take out my headphones. They're like, man, you got some spare change, man. I'm a rapper, and like, I'm homeless right now. I'm just trying to make it to Winnipeg, dude. Like, I've heard that story. Like, I swear to God, from 4 different homeless dudes. Trying to get to Winnipeg to do rap music. So this guy tells me to pull out my headphones, and he goes, hey, kid, nice headphones. Give them to me. And I was like, this has never happened to me before. I'd never been mugged. I'd never been mugged in my life. So my immediate response, without even thinking, was just, no. And
that's exactly what I did.
I realized that is why I'm going to die early, because somebody's legit going to come and try and fucking, like, with a knife and be like, give me your wallet. I'm going to say no, and then they're just going to fucking deep in just stab me. But I said, no. And he goes, oh, okay. Do you got a cigarette? And I'm like, no. And then he walked away. It was the most insane
That's hilarious,
shit that ever
like
happened.
a very similar thing happened to me after the film fest. I was waiting for the bus. It was like midnight, and the bus stop that I take, it's right across from like a bank, and it's downtown. So there's fucking there's street cameras everywhere. Yep. And fucking buddy rolls up to me. He's like, I had my headphones in, but he was yelling so I could hear. And he's like, hey man, give me your money. And I'm like, hey bro, there's 8 cameras around us. Why are you doing this? And he's like, oh, and then just like ran off. I was like, what if he just killed me there though?
Yeah, dude. Like it's scary. It's just because like it's just like where your brain goes immediately, but then you're like, oh shit,
I also
dude.
didn't
like
have any money, so it's not like
it's like shit, man. I
got my credit card. I can cancel that like in 4 seconds.
Yeah,
Fucking
all it takes literally one phone call.
Hey, nobody carries money anymore.
And like, here's the thing: is like, yeah, you can. The only thing you can do is take somebody's credit card and either immediately go use tap before they cancel it, or take them with you as a hostage, which is like a really good way to go to jail for like a super long time. But this isn't.
We both got mugged, sort of.
Yeah, we both almost got mugged, but then didn't. So this is not the mugging podcast.
Every time a homeless guy asks me for money, I'm like, nah, they got Bitcoin, bro, because it's true. That's all I have.
Fucking like homeless people ask me for money every goddamn day. Sometimes they just yell at me. They'll like tell me to take out my headphones and be like, man, taking on down to the Victoria, and then I'm like, I don't know what's going on, and I just keep on walking.
Yesterday, a fucking guy was like, hey, bud, you got $2? And I'm like, nah, bro, I only carry Bitcoin. And and he's like, he looked very confused, and he was like, you look like Buddy Holly. I'm like, what? And he's like, Buddy fucking Holly. And I'm like,
you do look like Buddy Holly. That's
not
correct.
Really though. I look more like fucking like a Down syndrome John Lennon.
That's very true.
It's very true.
It's very true. You do have Down syndrome, and it is nice that we are giving you a spot on this show.
God bless.
All right, so this is actually a podcast where we talk about movies. So today we're going to be talking about Woody Allen's Cafe Society, brand spanking new film from director of Annie Hall and Midnight in Paris. We're also going to be continuing on our Spooky-tober prelude. We're going to be watching Dawn of the Dead. Holy shit, dude. I'm excited to talk about this shit. And then Netflix original. We're going to talk about XOXO. Very excited to talk about that as well because, man, holy shit, do I ever have a lot to say about that. I watched it like a month ago, and I remember everything that's wrong with it. But
me too.
Let's talk about Cafe Society.
Sure.
This is a movie. Here's the thing, is that Woody Allen is very good at some things. He's very good at pulling performances out of people. Like, he's real fucking good at pulling good performances out of people. He's really good at writing fun to hear dialogue. Like the dialogue that he writes is really fun.
Yeah.
Not very good at telling stories though, unfortunately.
That's that's a big problem. The thing about Woody Allen is same goddamn movie I've seen before Woody. Fucking white people.
Yeah,
fucking
he always like I feel like Woody Allen is like, because he used to star in all his movies. Now he's like, man, I'm just the oldest Jew now, so I can't be in a romantic lead. You know, I gotta find the second biggest Jew in Hollywood and then get him to do a Woody Allen impression. Ooh, Eisenberg, it's right there in the name.
Yeah, well, like I would say out of like, because his last like probably like 10 films, right? It's been like a Woody Allen surrogate. It hasn't actually been him.
Yeah.
I kind of think Jesse Eisenberg's a pretty good choice to replace Woody Allen because I hate seeing him on my screen, but I do find him rather charming.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? He does the Woody Allen impression pretty good.
I mean, I haven't seen some of his more recent stuff, so I don't know how Joaquin Phoenix did in the last one. I assume good because he's a maniac.
Yeah, dude, I haven't seen that Joaquin one, but I am curious to see how Joaquin Phoenix does with a Woody Allen impression.
Doing the Woody, yeah.
Doing the Woody Allen.
Whenever a maniac does something, that's what I like to see. So
it's just like to me, it just does seem like almost psychotic and narcissistic that every movie you make, you force the main character to do an impression of you. You piece of shit. He's like, do it like me. It'd be funnier. It's like, fuck you, Woody Allen.
You gotta do it like me, or else you're not gonna hit the right cadence. It's like, okay, all right then.
Yeah, bent.
I gotta say, I really like the first half of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. This movie starts off really strong. It is kind of a basic romantic plot, but like, it's like if one of those shitty romance movies had really, really good dialogue. So it's like kind of bizarre to watch because the story isn't super interesting, but I'm interested in what everybody's saying. Nobody's fucking better at the metaphor than goddamn Woody Allen.
Sure.
Nobody's better at the metaphor, which I love. But so basically what this movie is about is you got Jesse Eisenberg, who's his uncle Stevie Carell is a film producer.
They all look like they can possibly be related, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good guess. I was thinking that as well. What's his name? Jesse Eisenberg moves to Hollywood to hang out with his film producer uncle and wants to become a film producer himself. He does not end up doing that, but he does fall in love with his uncle's secretary. Little does he know that his uncle is also banging the secretary. Here, I'm gonna describe a movie to you, okay? And I want you to tell me what movie I am talking about. Okay, so Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart, all right? They start working together, and immediately there's a spark. And they start falling in love. It's really cute, and he really, really falls for her. But little does he know that behind the scenes, this girl has been fooling around with somebody of seniority at their workplace that everybody respects. What's that?
Ryan Reynolds isn't in this? Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, no, is it Ryan Reynolds? I don't know. This is it's the same plot as Adventureland, even with the same cast, but instead of being at an amusement park, it's fucking in a film studio. It's really weird, but like it works well. It doesn't work as well as Adventureland.
I'm gonna stop you there. I agree, and I think that would be fine as a movie. And then all of a sudden, Woody's like, "Nah, you're going back to New York." And it's like,
I'd say that's when the whole movie derails, and then Corey Stoll's in it a whole bunch, and
I know you hate Stoll,
and I hate Corey Stoll, and like, although to be fair, he was actually kind of decent in this one. He wasn't doing Paul Scheer face, which I really appreciate in this one.
Scheer face?
Yeah, he wasn't doing the Paul Scheer face in this one, which I appreciated. But like, yeah, they would just kind of cut away from the actual stuff that we gave a shit about to like show stuff that his family was doing, like that whole neighbor thing. Like, man, did I ever not give a shit about that? The whole thing about his sister and his brother-in-law have an angry neighbor, and so like they tell a gangster about the angry neighbor, and then the angry neighbor dies, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the plot.
Yeah, I don't. I
Really,
don't
really,
know
the
what
only
all that was because like I enjoyed the first half so much. Like Jesse Eisenberg fucking around with Jewish hookers and whatnot.
oh, dude, the Jewish hooker bit, I was screaming, dude. That was Anna Camp playing the Jewish hooker.
See, Woody Allen tried to trick you into thinking this was a good movie because I text you before you watched it. I'm like, yeah, it's not very good, and you're like, no, it's good so far. I'm like, yeah, well, just hold up a minute before you make that decision because it gets less good.
I
Is how
still
I would
think this is
describe it.
I honestly still think this is a pretty good movie.
I
I
mean, I
actually
don't know if Woody Allen is back, but I think it's the right
no,
direction.
I wouldn't say Woody Allen is back. This is in the right direction. This is better than Midnight in Paris with Owen Wilson for sure. Um, what was I gonna say? I really like the ending. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but I think the movie ended exactly the way that it needed to. And you didn't like it? You didn't like the ending?
No, I think it's fine.
The ending's fine? Yeah, okay. My girlfriend was dissatisfied with the ending, but that's because, she's a pleb, she's a peasant. She likes cut and paste endings. She liked The Notebook where they fall in love and shit, But I thought that this movie's ending was actually very good. It's just like the shit like in the 30 minutes before the ending where he's hanging out with that girl Rad, and it's like, dude, you met this girl once through your uncle, and now she's your best friend on the planet. What the fuck is this? One thing I will say though, despite not being a very good actress, there's something real fucking charming about that Blake Lively.
Yeah, I agree completely.
She's not very good, but goddamn, is she ever charming, dude? I sure like her.
Especially in this setting.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. She didn't fit in this movie, and I don't think she knows how to act for the time, but
no,
that's fine.
Everybody's acting like a 40s gangster, and Blake Lively comes in like any average fucking Valley girl in 2016. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's that.
Also, I had a dream that you cheated on me. What the fuck's with that dialogue, Woody Allen? What's going on there? What was that all about?
Did you, Woody?
Jesus Christ, dude. I think the whole film producer marrying a much younger woman thing was sort of Woody. Also, Woody Allen was painting the film producer guy a bad guy for marrying a much younger woman, but didn't he do that? And wasn't the girl also his daughter?
Well, it was his adopted daughter, Chadley. It's not. There's nothing Game of Thrones going on there. Come on, man.
Excuse me.
That doesn't mean he's not a bad person, but I'm able to separate the art from the artist, unlike most people in 2016. So.
But no, I think this is a great movie. One thing you'll notice, like pretty much the first thing I notice is like, holy shit, dude, the cinematography in this movie is pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. I would agree with that. It's especially like his use of like colors, especially in this 1940s setting.
Yeah, it's very bright. It's very vibrant, which I love. I absolutely love the correct use of colors. I love shots. Like there's like this one shot in the movie that doesn't change for like 3 minutes because it doesn't have to, and I love that. Where Jesse Eisenberg and Steve Carell are just talking about Steve Carell's problems, and it's just a continuous shot, and it sits in one stationary point, but it's not like artless. Like it's not like somebody fucked up and just left one camera on. It's totally intentional.
Yeah, well, Woody Allen's had like fucking 60 years to and like he is making like technically very, very good movies. I just think
it's technically very good.
Like I don't know. I just don't care. Maybe I just don't care anymore.
It's just I don't know. It's just like these cut and paste romance stories at this point, and it's like, yeah, sure, he invented this cut and paste formula, but it's getting old.
That's kind of why I liked Midnight in Paris, is that it wasn't what he normally does. I know you don't like it.
Yeah.
But, I think
I just don't think Midnight in Paris is fucking about anything. So I'm not a fan of it.
All right. Well, we're not talking about Midnight in Paris, are we, Chetly?
Let's talk performances. Yeah, Owen Wilson, obviously. He I'd say Owen Wilson is the worst Woody Allen impression we've seen.
I would say he's the worst. I'd say he's the worst Woody surrogate.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about performances. First of all, Jesse Eisenberg. I don't know what it is. I love the man.
See,
I'm still
love
pretty
to hate him.
I'm still pretty peeved about his abysmal performance in Batman vs Superman.
I'll never forgive him for that, and I already didn't like him before. So,
Steve Carell has been pumping out like full 150s the last few years, but you know what? I'd
apparently
say this is more
good,
like
eh?
yeah, he's pretty good, but I don't know. I'd say this wasn't as good as he usually is nowadays. He said
he wasn't in it as much as I hoped, unfortunately.
Yeah, me neither.
This is more of an Eisenberg flick.
It's really an Eisenberg and Stewart flick, and that's fine. I think that works. We got Kristen Stewart. Like, who would have thought that the worst actress of 2008 would end up being the best actress of 2016? Holy shit, dude, she is very good. How'd you get so good?
Well, you haven't seen Personal Shopper yet, but
I haven't seen Personal Shopper yet, but she's really good in this movie. She's very good in Cafe Society. Who else? Who else is in this bitch? Blake Lively, we already mentioned. She's very charming, but she's not very good. Hate to love her type thing.
There's that one rich guy that I liked. I don't remember who it was, but the rich guy that like him and his wife lived in New York or whatever.
Oh yeah, the wife's name was Rad, and she was that actress. I don't remember her name, but she was on Josie and the Pussycat. She was a bad girl.
Oh, a bad girl, hey?
She was a bad girl. She was. I wanted to say bad guy, but then I realized that I think that's is bad guy just a general term, or can we use that when referring to women? Is that sexist?
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Well, either way, like I would say Cafe Society is worth a watch. It's I watched it with my girlfriend, and I think that actually enhanced the experience a little bit just because it's a romance film. So I mean, it is a good like. Good, like
Paul Schneider from Parks and Rec.
Oh, dude, Paul Schneider, right? Didn't they kill him off after the first season? Didn't he die?
Yeah, he died.
I think he died. It was definitely a good couple movie. But it's worth your time. Like, the thing about this movie is that it's not the greatest movie ever, but it's also 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So like, it's not a gargantuous waste of time. I'd say check it out. There's some fun to be had here.
I think it's a fun addition to the Woody canon.
Yeah. Is this canon? Was it ever stated? Is this canon?
Yeah, they're all canon.
Okay, they're all canon. Gotcha. All right, so Steve Carell was in this joint. So we have devised a top 5 films with the man, with Steven Carell. My number 1 is Bruce Almighty. Just kidding, that movie's terrible.
Good joke.
Remember Bruce Almighty? Remember when there was the joke about him blowing the wind to blow up a girl's skirt? Isn't rape funny in 2003? That's good stuff.
It actually was pretty funny in 2003. To be fair,
to be fair. And then Kobe Bryant ruined it for everybody. It just takes one guy, you know.
Fucking Kobe.
It just takes one guy. We were just settling down after the whole Mike Tyson thing, and then Kobe Bryant came and wrecked it again.
The thing about Kobe is he still went on to play a fruitful 12, 15 years of basketball, which is crazy.
Dude, and Mike Tyson makes a fucking TV show.
If Kobe would have done that in 2015, that's it. It's over.
I realized the other day, you ever play the game Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Sure.
I realized that the end goal of that game is to beat up a rapist.
God bless. What's your number 5, Chadley?
My number 5 was the movie we talked about today. My number 5 is Cafe Society.
Cafe Society makes it on, hey?
Yeah, Cafe Society made it onto my list. I did enjoy it. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever to grace my eyes, but it was fun when I was watching it, and I had a good time.
All right. Well, I accept that. My number 5 is going to be Foxcatcher, baby. Mostly because of that prosthetic nose, which I think should have won an Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. The nose itself. There's a lot of.
I think the nose itself should have gotten an Oscar. Yes.
There's a lot of really good bits where he's trying to bang Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo's Buffalo.
Mark Ruffalo's Buffalo Ruffaloes. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, no, Foxcatcher. It was good. It was acceptable. I'd say
I
Cafe
mean,
Society's a
I've
little
only
bit
ever
better of a
seen it.
movie.
Oh, I would disagree completely, but that's just a personal opinion. What's your number four, Chadley?
My number four. Hey man, this is the pivotal frat boy movie, baby. It's Anchorman.
Ooh, according to Movie Epidemic, the number four best Steve Carell movie is Anchorman.
Hell yeah, dude. Anchorman's. I think our top fours are gonna be like identical.
Probably pretty similar, I would think. Only done very few good
um,
films.
yeah, hey, he hasn't done very many. Number one, Dad in Real Life jokes. Anchorman is really good. Steve Carell gives a really memorable performance. Who here doesn't remember I Love Lamp? For
I
God's
do love
sakes.
Lamp. I'm a big fan of Steve. I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of Brick Tamlin.
Yeah,
So
Rick Tamlin. I
he
have
might be
never
my
seen
favorite character
Anchorman.
in the series. So
I have never seen Anchorman 2 as long as I've lived.
oh, it's good.
But
Kanye's in it.
Kanye's in it.
Yeah,
I've heard it's
Kanye's
very,
in
very.
it, dude.
I heard it's very, very bad. But like, I do want to see some more Brick Tamlin. Maybe
Well,
I'll watch that. Maybe I'll
they
watch
take
it.
all the shit that people liked the most from the first one and just extended it to 2 hours. And you're like, okay, I guess.
They just magnify it. They're like, is there even a plot? Is there a plot in this movie?
Not really, but like, what are the things you like the most in the first one? Brick Tamlin being an idiot.
Oh, dude, Brick
The,
Tamlin being.
the Anchorman fight, and
Yeah, the Anchorman fights. I like the Oh shit, what's his name? The guy who plays no, it's not Rob Corddry. It's the other one that's not Rob Corddry.
mhm.
Who looks like who that doesn't look necessarily like Rob Corddry, but him and Rob Corddry often play like the exact same character.
The guy from The Office.
Yeah, the guy from The Office. Fuck, what is that guy's name? Why don't I know this? Is
Yeah.
Christina Applegate back?
Well, here's the thing about Anchorman
Dave-
2 is basically
David Koechner is who I'm
Koechner,
thinking of.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a big Anchorman fight, and Brick being an idiot for 2 hours. And it's great. Kanye's in it.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Kanye. To be fair, though,
Kanye
like
runs he's like an anchor at the Black Station or something.
yeah, okay. That's pretty good. That's like some shit you and I would have come up with.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
exactly like when you're watching the fight in Anchorman 2. It's like, oh, this is some shit that I would have came up with. This is.
good.
I think
Okay,
like
that's
Will
pretty
Smith is in there too, and like it's like all celebrity cameos, right? So it's like
I heard Jim Carrey's buried in there somewhere.
yeah, he might be in there. It's like exclusively famous people.
Dude, I love movies with just famous people. Even the extras are famous.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like looking in the background. You're like, yo, is that Roddy McDowell back there? I think Roddy McDowell might be that old man.
What's your number 3, Chadley?
My number 3. It's the 40-year-old virgin, baby.
Ooh, according to Movie Epidemic, the number 3 best Steve Carell movie is the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, I think our top fours are 100% identical. This is a very good movie. Steve Carell absolutely murders this bitch. Basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. They find out that their 40-year-old friend is a virgin, and they try to get him laid. Catherine Keener's in it. Paul Rudd's there. Seth Rogen is there. One of my favorite lines in the movie is Seth Rogen plays a stoner because surprise. But there's like one of my favorite parts of the movie is when he's like chastising him for smoking pot, and he's like, "How many pots have you smoked?"
Fucking, that's basically the movie that created Judd Apatow movies. So go fuck yourself, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you enjoy the shit that followed.
Yeah. Oh, did you like This Is 40? Did you like it? Did you like funny people?
Did you like it? Did you like?
I kind of like Knocked Up though. I'll be to be fair.
I've never been a fan.
I kind of like Knocked Up. I think Knocked Up's pretty good.
Disagree.
The plot line of them trying to find nudity in every movie ever made is like some shit I would come up with.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's not a very good movie though.
Still like it. Number 2. This movie came out of last year. This is from good friend Adam McKay, who's been on the list twice now with Anchorman, and now The Big Short, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby. Is this not your number 2?
Nope.
Oh, shit, dude. Our lists are different now. We fucked up somewhere. We fucked up. We didn't synchronize. Adam McKay's The Big Short is a super, super good movie about the stock market. What's it about? Wall Street?
It's about, what do you mean? What is it about? It's about the fucking the economic crash.
The stock, yeah. Of the housing,
yes.
The housing market. That's right. This is a really great movie. Steve Carell is amazing in it. He isn't, however, the best performance of the movie. Throw that bitch over to Christian Bale. Actually, no. You know what? No. You know what? I'd say Steve Carell's best performance in this movie. I take it back.
Okay.
I take it back.
Christian Bale's hard to fuck with, though.
Yeah, Christian Bale is hard to fuck with, and it's also pretty tough to fuck with Brad Pitt as well.
Well, I would disagree with that completely because it's almost like people are constantly fucking with him.
Every movie he's in, there's always somebody standing there doing a better job. Hey, he was in Troy, and Eric Bana murdered that movie. Well, Brad Pitt just squeezed on by. So, if this isn't your number two,
now that Brad Pitt is divorced, are you gonna try and date him?
Well, I just want to know if I can, are his kids for sale?
Oh,
because there's no
children.
Yeah, they can't split them up, right? They can't split them up, and neither of them could single-handedly take care of 45 children.
From what I heard, Angelina Jolie wants the children, but Brad Pitt's like, no, you're a fucking Nazi, so there's no way. There's no fucking way I'm letting you take the kids.
Which is hilarious because he's such a big fan of killing Nazis.
Yeah, he's a big fan of killing Nazis. But no, apparently he's just like, I was reading an article about this, but apparently he's obviously the worst dad ever, just laid back, lets them do whatever they want, gives them tons of money and shit. Angelina Jolie's old school, makes them go to bed on time, and Brad Pitt's like, I don't need to go to bed or school. Who gives a fuck?
Hey, Brad Pitt, you ever read one book? You ever read one book in your life? So if this isn't your number two, Big Short, what is your number two?
My number two is a little Sam Rockwell flick called The Way, Way Back.
The Way, Way Back. Wow. We did a little swapsies here because this is my number one.
That's your number one?
I love The Way, Way Back. This is a super
The Way, Way
Back's
movie. Way underrated.
Yeah, nobody talks about it. Sam Rockwell murders.
Hey, how about Sam Rockwell's the best dude ever, and then he just did Poltergeist and completely fell off the map?
Yeah, dude. Why isn't Sam Rockwell in these Oscar movies? Remember when remember back in the day when he was in Oscar movies? It was Green Mile and fucking
let's get Sam Rockwell in who's fucking big right now, director wise.
Let's get him into a what's the name of that really Mexican guy?
Oh, the Mexican
doing
guy
good
that
stuff.
has won 2 Oscars in a row. Yeah, let's
get
him in a
what's his? Yeah, what's that guy's name? Alejandro Inarritu. Let's get him in an Alejandro movie. Fucking, then you'll give him an Oscar. Who gives a shit? Fucking hacks. How do you not understand?
He's a fucking.
I love Sam. I take it that your number one is The Big Short.
My number one is The Big Short. That is correct.
Yeah, it's a good fucking movie. But let's talk about The Way, Way Back, dude. It's really good, and I love Steve Carell's character in it because it's so uncharacteristic of him, where he's just a big jizz bag. Although not anymore. I mean, he's been playing exclusively jizz bags for 3 years now.
Well, that's his bread and butter now, baby.
Yeah, this is bread and butter. He was he did The Way, Way Back and was like, oh, dude, I can do jizz bag? I think I'm down to do some more jizz bag.
I think we'll do this more. Give me a
Somebody called him up.
Get over here.
I called him. I was like, hey, do you have a prosthetic nose? He's like, yeah, I got the prosthetic nose, but can I be a jizz bag? And they're like, oh, fuck yeah, you can be a jizz bag, dude. Of course you can. Why would we turn you down, Stevie? You know we love you. Be a jizz bag all you want. Who else is in that? Is Toni Collette as well? Toni Collette's in that?
Yeah, maybe. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do adore it. It's a very good coming of age film.
Yeah, it's a bizarre love film between a kid and Sam Rockwell.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's not weird.
They do. Yeah, they don't bang. They don't even do hand stuff or nothing. Don't worry, it's not weird. It's just they're friends. They're good. What's the word? Amigos.
Hombres.
There's a lot of good. This always makes me want to go on water slides though, because he works at the water slide park.
Those don't exist anymore, really. Besides ones that are in malls. Other than that, there's not outside ones.
There's one. Yeah, there's one here in Edmonton. but it's in the mall.
Okay, well, we're not talking about that, Chadley. I'm talking about outdoor fucking water slide parks. There ain't any of those
Outdoor
bitches.
fucking water parks. Yeah. There used to be one in my hometown, and they shut it down just as I was becoming an age where I would be able to go to it.
Yeah, the thing about that is it had fucking oil and gas leaking into their reservoir, so I think it was probably a good idea that they probably shut that down.
Yeah, but like I would have liked to have some fun on some gas slides.
Don't worry about it.
I would have loved to breathe in those fumes. Come on.
What are we talking about next, Chadley?
Next, let's talk about some zombie movies. Let's talk about Dawn of the Dead.
Ooh.
Fuck, dude. Oh, man. After watching Night of the Living Dead, I was like, there it is. That's the peak.
I see, but here's the thing about zombie movies is Dawn of the Dead is a zombie movie.
Dawn of the Dead might be the best zombie movie I've ever seen if you don't count the first 40 minutes.
Well, I do not remember it taking that long to get to the mall.
The first 40 minutes is not very good, unfortunately. As soon as they get to the mall, the movie becomes amazing. It's so good. Here's the thing about Dawn of the Dead, though. 2.5 hours.
Oh, well. It's long. I actually watched the director's cut, which is like almost 3 hours. So,
yeah, I also watched the director's cut. I also put this on as like a movie to fall asleep to and could not do it. Watch the whole thing.
you gotta. This is like I adore this movie. This is a 5-star movie for me in every way, but I do have some problems with it, and one of them being they're some of the worst on-screen zombies ever. Like they don't look like fucking
yeah. It's just gray makeup. I was gonna mention that as well. The zombie makeup is not very good. I have a couple of qualms with this movie. I still think this is a 5-star film because the action is like incredibly fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The parts where they're just going around the mall and stealing shit is like my favorite.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love when they go into
It's a very funny film, actually. Like even in the first 40 minutes where nothing's happening, one of my favorite bits happens though when they're all trying to escape and the guy's like, "You got any cigarettes?" And they're like, "Nope." And then as soon as they get in the helicopter, they all light up a cigarette. It's a perfect joke, by the way.
Man, that was in a movie I saw recently. It's in Inside Llewyn Davis, which
that movie's incredible too.
When he's like, "Do you got an extra cigarette?" He's like, "Nope." And then it just cuts to them in the car, and Oscar Isaac's just looking at him, and he's smoking a cigarette. Yeah, I love Inside Llewyn Davis, but we'll be talking about that in a couple of weeks when we count down our top 50 favorite movies of all time.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
That's actually pretty soon, probably.
Yeah, that's going to be an episode 100. This is episode 98. Holy shit, dude. We're getting there. I didn't think we'd crack off a hundo, but it looks like we're about to crack off a hundo.
Break off a hundo? Holy shit.
Yeah, never did I think. Do you think we can make it to 2 hundo before one of us quits? We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. If there's another shitty movie year like this, I honestly don't think we'll make it. I think we'll both kill ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to do the show. One of us will have to do the show alone.
Fucking deliver.
Oh, dude, and if it doesn't, dude, I'm gonna be pissed.
You know, I think we could really be saved by Oscar season. Honestly, we'll see when the screeners come out, baby.
Yeah. Well, Oscar season could be all right. Another problem I have with Dawn of the Dead is that everybody except for the guy who plays Peter is fucking just terrible. Like as if they've never acted before. Yeah, I feel like George A. Romero just like hires his friends and they're like, "Dude, I've never acted in a movie before. I don't want to do this." He's like, "Come on, man, just be in the movie."
Well, you'll see that more as we progress in the series. Day of the Dead, it's very apparent that there's like 2 good actors in it, and the rest are just people he pulled off the street, and one of them is a zombie. So it's like, oh, okay.
The guy who plays the black guy is pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, not amazing, but he's pretty good. Those Raiders, dude, holy shit, dude, those guys haven't acted a day in their life. Those dudes haven't acted a day in their life before. They were brand new to this. And they didn't even practice. They read the script, they came right off of it and went straight into shooting and did 1 take. Like, there's no way that's the only explanation I have for how terrible they are.
Yeah. I got some advice. If you're gonna hold yourself up in like a mall or anywhere really, barricade yourself in better than like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, that cardboard that was like blocking off the hidden hallway. Yeah, I thought that was bizarre because they used goddamn pickup trucks to block everything else off, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty smart. And then the
Well, like
hidden
there's even a
hallway.
scene where they're building it and they're like sawing wood and shit and making a frame, and then they just put cardboard over. What?
You had
I
wood,
saw
dude. You had a whole mall worth of
a
stuff.
whole fucking mall, bro.
Yeah, why did you do it that way? Why did you do it that way?
But I think that this wasn't the first time I've seen this, but the first time I did watch this a couple of years ago, it struck me that it's like way funnier than I expected it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. When they're fucking around in the mall, there's a lot of really good jokes. I loved black guy dressed up as a waiter. That was hilarious.
Well, it is like a very like
It doesn't take
everything
itself very seriously.
everything George A. Romero makes has like some very not subtle like political undertones to it. So like I think that helps the satire really.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there's a lot of good jokes. Like I love when they're playing the. I like that they steal the money from the bank and then gamble with that money.
Yeah.
Like that's just so bizarre to me. Seeing it's like they're in like this post-apocalyptic world where it's absolutely has no meaning or purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The only big problem I have with this movie is the Raiders don't really seem to have an agenda, and like they just kind of come in and they just like fuck around with shit. And I guess there would be people like that, but like I just wish that they had like some sort of finite concept about these Raiders instead of just they're bad guys. They just acted as bad guys to just come in and do some shit, and they didn't really.
Well,
Like,
they're
they weren't even
obviously
taking stuff.
they're obviously bad guy scapegoats, but I don't think that's really a problem because I think in that situation, I think there's going to be just Raiders, Chadley. I think there's going to be Raiders that just fuck shit up because that's what they want to do.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. And I think ultimately the purpose for it was that, hey, we've already established that these people can stand up against the zombies and fight them, so you got to have something else there too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's, oh man, that ending is grim. That ending is grim.
Sure is.
For 1978 and for being a pretty low budget movie, the visuals are great. Like they look really good.
Yeah, it's very. I
other
do
than
like
the
the
zombies.
again. I like the '70s colors. I think maybe it would have done well with the black and white just to make the zombies look better, but then you'd lose like so much of the like what makes it fun. I think so.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of the blood is what makes this one fun because there's a lot of blood in this. Like they were buying fucking packets of blood to explode on people's shoulders like you wouldn't even imagine.
I'd like to do a restoration of this that's in black and white except for the blood.
Oh, dude, that would be so good.
Because the zombies look so fucking bad, and like if it wasn't black and white, it'd be fine.
But for all intents and purpose, like this really is the best zombie film ever made. Like,
well, it's the zombie film. It's the most influential. I'm not going to argue the influence of it. It's the most influential thing maybe ever.
Yeah, and every action sequence is a lot of fun. And that's what sets this movie aside from modern day zombie movies. Is that word is fun. It's fun. And modern day zombie movies are like trying so hard to be scary that they absolutely have no fun.
See, that's interesting you say that because Day of the Dead, which we are watching next, is fun. Land of the Dead, less fun, and then it just kind of goes downhill from there. Where George R. Romero is like, maybe let's just not make them fun anymore. It's like, man. Why, bro? That's what your bread and butter is.
Yeah, goddamn, fun zombie movies. And then like the only fun zombie movie from this century I can think of is fucking Zombieland, and that was a comedy. That was a joke. That movie's a joke. They're like, we made Adventureland, want to make Zombieland? Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? Make it fun. They're like, should we make it fun? No zombie movies are fun. They're like, make it fun. Make it fun. Ready to talk about one of the worst movies of 2016?
Sure.
Netflix original, baby. XOXO. This movie is basically, what do we call this movie? This movie, I couldn't tell if this was in defense of or in like a criticism of the EDM scene, because like
here's the thing about it. This shit's completely serious, Chadley.
yeah, they're 100% serious.
Like it's so preposterous that you think it might be parody, but nah, this is just played completely straight. Like they don't even like they like glamorize the drug culture. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, what the fuck's going on here? And like, that's fine if you're gonna glamorize the drug culture, but don't simultaneously chastise it as well. Like you can't do that. Like I was just so confused as to what this movie was supposed to be. So basically, this is a movie about a film festival, like an electric what's electric dance music? Is that what EDM stands for?
Sort of. Yes, I think so.
Let's say it's an EDM film festival, and there's
festival.
four different
Why do you keep saying film festival? It's a music festival.
Music festival. It's a music festival. I don't ever go to music festivals. I'm only familiar with one kind of festival.
Yeah, you know what's interesting though? That XOXO is a real festival, but it's not an EDM festival. It's a tech festival. It's about like apps and shit in Portland.
Dude, that is actually really bizarre. So it's called XOXO.
One of my friends has gone to XOXO, and I'm like, oh, like the EDM festival? They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, oh, okay. Fuck this up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fine. Fuck with my mind. That's cool. So this is it's an EDM music festival, and there's 4 different stories taking place, and they are all loosely connected.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all bullshit.
They're all real dumb.
They're all real fucking stupid. So, like, the main plot of the movie is that there's this guy who made some EDM music and got onto YouTube, and then he goes to this music festival because he gets invited to play, and it's his first set ever. And it's at a huge music festival. So you know what? Better not fuck it up. But guess what he does?
He probably fucks it up, right?
He fucks it up.
But not without the help of his manager fucking up at every situation.
Dude, everything his manager does is painful to watch because his manager fucks up absolutely everything. And then in the end, they're like, you can still be my manager because you're my friend. And it's like, don't do that.
Obviously not, though.
Dude, you got a million hits on YouTube, dude. This guy isn't doing anything for you. You clearly are doing it all yourself. And his manager, like the whole plot with his manager is that his dad is sad that he's into EDM, and that his dad wants him to be.
If I was his father, I'd be like,
yeah, true. His dad keeps like being like, please, help me run this restaurant.
This is a warning to all of my future children. If you're into EDM, you are no longer my son or daughter.
Yeah, but I'm like, I feel like I've gotten too old because it's to a point when like I see these movies where people are like, I gotta take a chance, and then the parents are like,
we're way too old for that shit.
Yeah, because the dad is like, no, I will give you this restaurant and you can manage it. Like it's like you'll make a lot of money out of it.
We're a couple of fucking 40-year-old fuckheads, Chadley.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here being like, dude, take the restaurant. What are you doing? Like, don't get into EDM. You're not gonna make any money. And he's like, I want to show my dad I can make money. And it's like, well, you can't. You can't make money in EDM.
There's
it's
no
all
money.
On fucking YouTube.
Hey, millennials, there's no money anywhere.
It's all on fucking YouTube and SoundCloud, which are free, bro. If anything, you have to pay for the pro version of SoundCloud. You lose money by being into EDM.
I wish there was money on the internet, Chadley. There's just not anymore. It's all gone.
Okay, so then there's that plot line. All right, so we got the manager plot line. Then we got the plot line with the boyfriend and the girlfriend, and the girlfriend's moving away the next day, and they haven't discussed what they're gonna do when he moves away. First of all, that wouldn't fucking happen, because people talk about shit. EDM people are pretty dumb, so I get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're in the high school mindsets.
I don't know. I just like I know people who are into EDM who even think like this movie is bullshit. Like I don't think this movie was really made for anybody because like it's just like it's so fucking like it's so douchey because it's basically the way the movie's lined out is that like it's basically saying to the audience, if you're not into EDM, then you're stupid and a corporate douchebag.
Yeah.
Which okay.
Well, that brings us to the one character that I do like, is the record store manager who hates the fuck out of EDM until you find out why he hates EDM, and then I'm like, never mind then. Yeah,
until you find out why, and then you're like, oh, dude, that's bullshit. We'll spoil it. It's because he used to do EDM and then he got fucked out of a contract.
That
That's
guy
why
is
he hates
that guy
movies.
is Chris D'Elia, who's one of the funniest comedians ever. Doesn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
make me laugh in this movie.
I recognize him from something. What's he been in? I've seen him around.
He's had like sitcoms and shit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Probably
See,
seen him
yeah,
at you probably seen him at our boy Luxie's house because he's like constantly playing his comedy special there. So
oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Speaking of which, my boy Lexi is going to be rolling up to my house in 10 days.
ooh, God bless.
He's going to roll up to my house. He's going to see Kanye, and he needs a couch to crash on.
Oh, dude.
He was going to buy me a ticket, but I work, which makes me really sad.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to that, but I got shit to do.
Yeah, you're a busy man. I mean, if you want to crash on my couch,
9/11,
go see
Chadley. It's
Kanye.
9/11.
It's 9/11. Oh, 9/11, make a wish. Man, Jesus, that means we started really early. It's 9/11 in the morning. Jeez, I'm not even awake usually at this point. What were we talking about? Right, the very forgettable film, XOXO.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's that plot line, and so we got the dumbest decision in the world is made in this movie, where they're like, they run out of tickets at the EDM festival, and the couple that, like, the girls moving away are like, you know what, we got to go to this festival, so let's climb through the sewers. And then they just sleep in a pile of shit, and like,
that
who
part
asked
grossed
for
me
that?
out so fucking much. Like,
Dude,
don't.
who fucking asked for the part where they break up and then sleep in a pile of shit? Like, who was begging?
Dude, I kind of did like at the end though when they bring them into the back and Chris D'Elia's like, "Man, you guys smell like shit. Let's go."
Yeah, you guys can come back. You guys can come back, but
go
like,
into the
stay
festival,
5 feet.
like just like covered in shit. Like, have you ever been to a music some sort of concert or something, and like there's like a really sweaty guy dancing beside you or something? It's like that,
Yeah,
but times 1,000 because he's covered in shit.
Well, I think that's almost kind of a funny joke, because it's just a reminder that when you go to a music festival, there's going to be people who smell like shit.
Yeah.
They're going to be real close to you. Okay, so then we got the those are all the plot lines that are like pretty bad, but like passable, I guess. But then we have what I call the unwatchable plot line.
Yeah.
And this plot line comes from an actress who keeps trying so hard, but she's just very bad at it, and she can't act at all. And that's Sarah Hyland. You might know her from she's the eldest girl on Modern Family. She was also in a movie called See You in Valhalla, which she was very bad in. And now she's in this.
I'm not really familiar with her work.
She's very bad. She's a very bad actress, but like, oh, okay. Are you ready to scream? Are you ready to scream about some bullshit? Because I'm ready to scream.
Yeah.
All right, this shit, okay? So this girl met a dude online who was also into EDM, and like, if you meet a dude online who's into EDM, for sure don't pursue that.
Yeah, obviously he's going to rape you.
Yeah, obviously he's going to rape you. Which
should
he
be
does.
obvious. Oh yeah, that should be obvious, right?
Yeah, he meets up with him, and then he rapes her, and then she cries about it for 5 minutes, and then a dude is like, hey man, just forget about the worries and go and party. And
dude,
like,
the stoner guy. Oh my god, that's one of the most preposterous. Like that's like, like, you know how there's like in some movies there's like a wise black person or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The wise black person in XOXO is a fucking guy strung out on mushrooms and fucking coke and shit.
Yeah, trying to sell people drugs. So like she gets pinned against a wall and finger blasted against her will, and she's like crying and begging him to stop and stuff. And then she like walks away, and then she cries for 5 minutes, and then someone's like, hey, why don't you just have fun? And she's like, yeah, all right. And it's like, whoa, what? Whoa, what? I'm sorry, this person just got raped, and that's how we're dealing with it?
Yeah.
That guy's just gonna walk away and enjoy the rest of the festival? That's how this is going down? I was screaming, dude. I was like legit screaming. I was like, there's no way. And then like, look, I would be fine if she just went back to the party and then went to the cops later on or whatever. But no, she goes back to the party and she like falls in love with the guy on stage for no reason.
No reason.
And then she just like goes up on stage and makes out with him, and then it cuts to credits.
Well, we've missed a large part of the good shit though, Chadley. You're skipping ahead way too much. There's also the Asian mystic man that walks around.
Oh yeah, okay. I remember this kind of.
How do you not remember? This is an integral part of the fucking movie. It's this Asian guy that's walking around, and like you see him, he looks casual. Doesn't really look like he's into EDM. Everybody's talking to him. He's telling them their problems. Later, you find out that's the guy that organized the entire festival.
Right. But he wasn't. Like when you say Asian, I think Chinese, but I think he was more like Cantonese or something like that.
I mean,
Like
Korean. He was Korean.
Yeah, like maybe Korean or Filipino.
Well, that's not the point as much as so that towards the end of this movie, like the main guy that's supposed to go on, like the fucking who's he supposed to be, like Dead Mouse or something? Like he's supposed to be someone popular, right? Or
well, I mean, somebody who's popular in EDM. I'm not familiar with the genre.
Well, he's like this douchebag guy that makes shitty music, and then he just decides he's not going to go on, and then Buddy, our main character, just walks up on stage and hey, obviously that wouldn't work. Like,
yeah, obviously. Wait, okay. Did they not have security to stop somebody from just walking on stage and just doing a set?
Security, if you noticed in that scene as he was walking up to the stage, but they were just looking at him. They didn't do anything.
They're like, yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, dude, this movie is fucking preposterous. So this movie takes a lot, like it forces the viewer to make a lot of really rash assumptions. Like very.
There's like, do you remember the acid trip scene where the dude climbs into the porta potty?
Okay, yeah, that's the best part of the whole fucking movie.
You like that?
Yeah, dude, when he climbs into the porta potty and then it turns into space. Yeah. Here's the thing, is that like this movie had like kind of good cinematography, but like the cinematography didn't match the mood of the movie at all.
Yeah. Well, I do agree with that. Like, I think there was a lot of interesting shots, especially when they were filming the concert stuff, and like a lot of cool visuals, like a lot of neon cool visuals. Oh, but the rest is just so bad.
Here's the thing. Remember that Metallica movie, Through the Never?
Mm-hmm.
And remember how that was just like it was just like a concert, and then there was kind of a subplot? I kind of wish that this was like that instead of like just being subplot.
I see.
Like I kind of wish it was just like the concert, and then like you'd see subplot like every now and again. That being said, Through the Never is not a good movie. It's better than this.
Yeah, I would. Well, you gotta like Metallica to really enjoy that, I think.
Yeah, which I kind of do. I mean, they're okay, I guess. I don't really listen to music, so like these music
I like
movies,
them less than you. So, I thought it was okay.
These music movies, they kind of go over my head because I don't really care about music. Like I like watch movies. I don't really listen to music that often. So stuff like this tends.
I listen to fucking Kanye and Weezer, and that is it. So if your movie doesn't contain Kanye or Weezer, I don't care.
Yeah. If your music film doesn't have either of those things, there's no point in me watching. Which we've already stated, Anchorman 2 does have Kanye. So
that is good.
Good film.
It also has Rivers Cuomo of Weezer fame.
Really? In Anchorman?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, I thought you were being serious, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, we got a perfect game here. That's a perfect role right there. Yeah, XOXO is
why Netflix? Why did they pick this one?
Yeah, was this movie made and then Netflix put their money on it, or did Netflix put their money on it and then it was made?
I don't know. I want to assume that it was like picked up by Netflix, but it's hard to tell with those guys because they're doing whatever the fuck.
I would actually I'd rather assume the other way. I'd rather assume that Netflix funded it, because if Netflix funded it, at least they paid for it before they saw it, before they knew what it was. Because if they saw this and they were like, yeah, no, we could pay for that, and then it's like, wait, no.
They paid for it. They paid for it.
God damn it. Like the good paid for it, or?
They produced it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
they didn't just buy it from a film festival. Is what I mean.
Okay. So somebody fucked up, but it's not that bad. Because
a lot of the Netflix original movies are movies they just bought from film festivals. So.
Yeah, like what is it? Forgiving of carelessness of forgiving, or.
Mm-hmm.
Giving. What is that movie called? The Caring of Giving.
Fundamentals of Caring.
Yeah, there you go. For giving, for caring, fundamentals of giving. Yeah. Yeah, because they just bought that from a film festival, and you know what? That was a pretty good snag, I think. Because like the more I think about that, that's a pretty decent movie. I feel like I was kind of rough on that movie when we first talked about it.
It's not that. Come on, it's not that good. But like we've seen so much shit this year that it kind of
it just seems better in comparison to
yeah.
Fucking Sausage Party and Dirty Grandpa and 50 Shades of Black.
I haven't seen Dirty Grandpa yet, but
holy shit, dude! It's on Netflix and it's the worst film. Like it's so bad. Hey, do you want to see Robert De Niro's career just like be done? Because that's it. That's it. Because Dirty Grandpa's it, dude. That's the last thing he's gonna be able to do. Nobody will ever hire him again after Dirty Grandpa.
I don't think that's true, but
nobody. No, if anybody hires Robert De Niro from now on, they're making a mistake. Which seems like a bizarre thing to say. Because a fucking, Taxi Driver and The Godfather 2 and like one of the greatest actors of all time. Like Al Pacino could do garbage for years and like it would take a lot for me to be pissed off at him and just like be like, man, that's the worst actor ever. But Robert De Niro, like I feel like I'm at a point now where his bad stuff is outweighing the good stuff, which sucks because there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. I will say though, Al Pacino's recent movies have been pretty decent.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never seen
Manglehorn, baby.
Manglehorn. I've heard Manglehorn's pretty good. I never saw it though. But he was also in Jack and Jill, which is a mortal sin.
Well, that's obviously something that we can't forgive. But
so that's the show. Actually, do we want to do some trailer trash real quick?
I guess so.
Hey, did you see the did you see the Pirates of the Caribbean trailer?
Sort of.
Holy shit!
I watched it on someone's laptop, that was sitting in front of me. So
here's the thing: I was told after that last Pirates movie, I was totally off board. But now that I've seen Javier Bardem as the villain, I'm fucking on board again.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch that, and now assume that now that Johnny Depp beats the shit out of women, it kind of makes his character more authentic, really.
My girlfriend doesn't believe that Johnny Depp did it.
Well, I mean, innocent until proven guilty. Bill Cosby. Does she also think that Bill Cosby's not a rapist? Because it's the same thing to me.
Look, man, we can discuss this after the podcast.
She doesn't think Bill Cosby did it either. This is amazing. We've really struck some ground here.
She's not convinced Bill Cosby did it. I am, because he did it.
Well, here's the thing about Bill Cosby is definitely did it.
Yeah, definitely did it.
I'm pretty sure he pleaded guilty, but because of his disability, he's not getting jail time.
That's fucking preposterous. It makes me so mad. What's his disability? Is it just being a fucking retard? Like, is that the whole thing?
No, it's he's blind now. So.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, good.
Good. I hope he's blind. I hope this is God punishing him. I hope he also loses, I hope he gets, what is it, fibromyalgia, where you're in pain all the time? Is that what that is?
I don't know what the fuck fibromyalgia is. That's the shit that I see on late-night commercials.
I hope that he gets, a really, really, really bad version of that, so it feels like he's always in the electric chair.
No wet sponge?
No wet sponge. No wet sponge. I want him to be screaming in agony for the rest of eternity. Bill, look, here's the thing, is that Mike Tyson, I'm not going to say I'll forgive Mike Tyson, but at least he was yeah, no, I did it. I'll go to jail. I'll do that shit. But Bill Cosby's please don't put me in jail. Fuck you, Bill Cosby, you piece of shit. And
so you appreciate when they take
yeah, he took it. Fucking, okay, look, Mike Tyson may have raped somebody, but he took responsibility for his actions and he paid for it. Bill Cosby denied it for a year. It was these 75 women are all lying. It's they can't all be lying, Bill. They can't all be lying. There's almost 100 of them.
I just don't when you see Johnny Depp, when you see him in every regular day attire, I don't look at him and be oh, I bet he doesn't beat women.
Yeah, with
that's not something I think about. When I see him, I'm he might beat women. He's probably an alcoholic and probably beats women.
Does Johnny Depp wear transition shades? I feel like he wears transition shades.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they're just I think they're like half glasses, half sunglasses.
Oh, okay, one of those, one of those. So he's a real douchebag. He's sometimes he's wearing a bandana, like like a biker bandana.
Look, Hunter S. Thompson is maybe one of my favorite writers of all time, but he was a very dark dude, and Johnny Depp was best friends with him, so that should say something.
Yeah, absolutely. Him and fucking Hunter S. Thompson. That makes sense that they're friends, though, because that's how Fear and Loathing. Was it did working on Fear and Loathing together make them best friends, or were they best friends before?
I think it was because of Fear and Loathing.
Did Hunter S. Thompson kill himself? Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He blew his brains all over his kitchen, and then he let his wife and kids walk in on it.
Oh God, what a piece of shit, dude! I hate Hunter S. Thompson.
No, he's a fucking incredible writer, but a very bad person. That's just how it goes.
a very bad man. But I think
at least he didn't Chris Benoit and kill his family first, right? Like, there's that.
I think New Pirates could be good. It's gonna have Jeffrey Rush, Orlando Bloom. The whole game.
Maybe I don't care, right? Maybe I don't care anymore. It's been like 10 years since the last one. Maybe I don't care anymore.
It's been a while, but you know what? Here's the thing: is that I almost prefer it being a while. I almost prefer it because like that's what they do with James Bond too. They're like, "Fuck it, we'll put one out every 4 years," and it's like, "Oh, so you're taking the time to make the movie good instead of rushing it out the door?"
Okay, but explain Pirates 4 then.
Okay, that was pretty rushed out the door. Pirates 3, I'd say, is pretty rushed out the door too, if I'm being totally honest. But like,
dude, Pirates 3 looks like fucking Citizen Kane compared to Pirates 4. That movie's so fucking bad.
Well, that's because Pirates 4. Here's a fun fact about Pirates 4. It's also the most expensive film ever made, which is preposterous because it's also one of the worst. I think it's like in the top 3 most expensive movies ever made. Hold on,
yeah, I would believe. I
mean, most expensive movies ever made. Nope, yeah, it is the most expensive movie ever made. Pirates of the Caribbean 4 is the most expensive movie ever made.
Mm.
So there you go.
I don't believe that though, because it looks like shit.
It does. Sure does. It had what was it? Its base cost before like everything else was $400 million. That's before. That's base cost. That's before extensions and advertising.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive.
Expensive fucking movie. And then the second most expensive movie was the third Pirates of the Caribbean at $300 million base cost.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, do you think they're going to break a record here or what?
Yeah, let's make it the most expensive movie ever made, but let's make it look good. There's no way that fucking fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie broke even. How are they even making a fifth one? Is this just Disney like fucking around with their Marvel money?
Most of it's like merchandising, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But like, is Disney now just like, are they taking from the Marvel and Star Wars bank to make fucking Pirates movies? Can't do it.
I would think they must be, right?
Yeah, they kind of have to be.
But it doesn't matter though, because like they make so much money off of anything that has the Star Wars name on it or anything that has the Marvel name on it.
Well, like here's the thing:
money goes to Disney.
Is that they made enough money off of that Star Wars movie last year that they could probably still function as a studio for another like 20 years with just that movie's money.
They probably could fund an entire Pirates movie off just like last month's worth of Star Wars toy sales.
Probably, yeah, probably. Christ. Like seriously, Disney. Like, look, here's the thing: is that like 10 years ago, Disney was just that studio that made Chicken Little, and like I don't know what happened, but in the last decade, they kind of just fucking figured out the entire industry, and
they made some smart business moves. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they played the whole industry like a fiddle.
Well, see, they watched the shit that they're like, okay, these Marvel movies are doing good. We could buy DC, but they're not doing good. So we'll buy that because that's a franchise. And then they're like, well, George Lucas doesn't want to make Star Wars movies. Let's see if he'll take a $4 billion offer, right? Let's just see if he'll take that. And he fucking did.
Here's the thing is that George Lucas has enough money to live for another 20,000 years, but thankfully he will only live for another 2.
Yeah.
Seriously, $4 billion, that's a lot of money. You could literally live forever. Like,
well, he did donate, I think, most of it or something like $3 billion.
Oh, God bless. To Disney.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I do remember saying that he wasn't keeping any of the money. So
I do know that George Lucas does still do a lot of work on those Star Wars movies though. Like he's not like
he's a
banned from set.
I mean,
Yeah, like they have to talk to him and shit still. I imagine that's part of the deal.
to what point though? Because like he didn't like the new Star Wars, right? So like obviously at some point they cut him out of the process.
I mean, at some point you got to, right? Because at some point, like he's like, we could throw some Jar Jar Binks in there. Like,
pretty good. That's a pretty good George Lucas.
They're like, look, George, we can't do it. He's like, no, I mean, we just have a part where Ray makes out with a guy, and it's like, no, we don't really need to do that. We don't need to do that. It's like, yeah, what if we threw in some new kind of aliens? Just George enough,
Fucking JJ.
What is enough, George Lucas? You fuck.
All right, is there any other trailers, or are we done here?
No, that's it. I just want to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean and Javier Bardem because
what are we doing
look,
next?
if the whole movie was just that scene that was in the trailer, I think I would be satisfied. Because Javier is fucking amazing. It's the same character from Skyfall, but I don't even give a shit. It's the Skyfall guy, but a pirate now.
He's a pirate now. Holy shit! What are we watching next week, Chadley?
Holy shit, dude! It's Spooky-tober.
Oh,
We're gonna start Spooky-tober late, unfortunately, just because like we're garbage men, and that's fine.
Hey, you got with the shit.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the next one? What's the next Dawn of the Dead? Is it Day of the Dead?
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is next.
Day of the Dead's like underrated. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm excited to watch it. We're going to watch Day of the Dead. We're starting Spooky-tober, so it's all going to be spooky movies all month. We're going to be talking about Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
Ghostbusters, starring Melissa McCarthy.
Does she play Slimer?
She does play Slimer. I can't confirm. I've seen the film. She plays Slimer. I vowed not to see this in theaters because I made a vow that if Melissa McCarthy was in it, I would not see it in theaters. I've kept that vow, but now I'm gonna watch it at home. We're also gonna watch The Shallows. More Blake Lively, dude. Couldn't get enough of this Blake Lively. I guess
double dipping, eh?
We're gonna get a little more. I've seen that movie. I got some words for it. I know how I feel about that movie. We'll talk about it next week.
Hell yeah, Jaws, baby.
Hell
we'll see
yeah.
you guys next week. Follow me on Twitter at LastCoolDude and subscribe on YouTube.
I don't remember if I changed my Twitter handle back to Chadley the Movie, but you can follow me. I think it's not Brad, only Reek still. I still have to